down to LA. Always fun when you guys face off against the Galaxy. Just your thoughts on this matchup heading down there.
Fun for the fans probably, but well, last time we went down there we had some success, but it's proven rather difficult in the past to go down to LA and get a good result. So it's going to be difficult. We're going to have to keep working hard throughout the rest of the week to make sure we're ready. And obviously they have some guys who they're gonna be hungry for a result too. But they have some guys who I think their confidence is pretty high. You know, you look at some of their new players, Alessandrini, and they've been scoring well for them. So it's going to be a difficult match. We got to be ready for them. But most importantly, we got to be ready to play the way we want to play. Focus on ourselves, get better this week, and have a good game.
It is what it is. You can't change the schedule, but 5 of 7 on the road to start. How how does that make this team stronger in the long haul, having to go on the road and compete like this?
You know, I've been asked after the Vancouver game already if this compares to last season, and I'd argue it's completely different. You know, we've had a tough stretch of games against some really tough opponents. Have actually played quite well, just haven't been able to find the back of the net as many times as we'd like. So I think we're doing all the hard work. We're doing all the hard work really well. Now it's more just time for us to reward ourselves and make that possession count, make that dominance count, get a couple of goals and get the result, because ultimately that's all that matters, right? So, but I'm confident. And if you look at the stats of the last game in Vancouver, and also obviously if you look at the way they had to hold on at the end, I think all these experiences, these hardships you go through, you saw that last year. Those become vital throughout the rest of the season. So obviously we want to have more points at this point, but I think the experiences will go a long way. And like I said, where we've been in games, and I think results will come.
Steph, at any level, have you ever given up a goal from midfield or beyond?
I'm sure I have, but those are memories you don't want to hold on to as a goalkeeper. So I can't remember, which is a good thing.
2 goals conceded on Friday. Is there anything that you and the defense are specifically working on this week to try and improve that next weekend?
Trying to improve that?
Yeah.
I think we can do a better job on stopping crosses. Maybe that falls on the shoulders of whoever's out there, whether it's outside backs or guys having to chase back out of the midfield and help cover. Just eliminate that threat before it even comes in. I think that's one thing we can maybe get a little better at. And then just the man marking. We faced similar guys now in the past few games. You know, Wando and. Is a similar kind of guy who, for the 85 minutes of the game, he's nowhere to be found, and then all of a sudden he knows exactly where to be. So when you have players who have that striker's instinct, you got to make sure you know at all times where they are. So I think last game proved the same thing. They're quite simple. Well, the first one is maybe he has to do a little bit more, but the second one is quite a simple tap-in. It's a lack of concentration on our part, and we certainly have to make it more difficult for players.
How much of that do you think is because of the different defensive pairings you guys have had to use all year because of injuries and players playing internationally in different combinations?
Honestly, I think it's difficult for a defense. I think we have a strong defense, and we have over the years, and I maintain that our defense is quite strong. However, it puts a lot of pressure on a defense when you're struggling to score goals. So, like I said, we're taking risks in the back to try to maintain possession and building out of the back. And as much as we are able to, even up top, get a lot of possession, it's not really resulting in anything right now. So, at some point, that becomes a little bit of a pressure on defense. If you will, we're expected to keep shutouts game in and game out, and that's realistically probably not going to happen. So we're going to try to, like I said, look at these little mistakes that we're making right now and try to improve on them. But so far, I've been happy with our defense. Keep doing what we're doing, keep trying to get better every day, and we'll be all right.
Steph, how important is it to stay the course and be patient up front without kind of trying to overthink the goals, and also on defense, just continue to play the defensive style of good communication?
It's always important to not give in and panic. I mean, you see this last year is a perfect result, and I don't like to dwell on the past, but if you want to talk about a season where you would have probably had every opportunity to throw in the towel, that was one, right? I mean, you're looking at mid-season and being rock bottom, hard time to climb out of that hole, but we didn't give up, and it showed that you can climb out. So you can never give up. This is our livelihood. This is our passion. If this is what you want to do, you can't give up. I don't think we will. There's enough quality in this locker room, enough veterans, enough hungry guys. We have, like I said, we have all the quality. I think maybe one thing we need to change a little bit is, not be so eager to maintain possession and be more eager to score goals.
So is that like taking the shot a little earlier?
Maybe. I think it's an attitude a little bit. It's are you gonna get isolated into a 1v1? Does that mean now you're gonna shy away and turn around and maintain possession, or does that mean you see an opportunity that you're gonna beat this guy, take him on, and get the shot off? I think it's a little bit of an attitude thing that you see, for example, with the Dom Dwyer goal that they scored against Portland. It's a pure do everything you can to get there and score a goal. For us right now, we're very concerned with maintaining possession, which is a really, really good thing. But we need to have that itch to try to score. Obviously, you see with Clint clearly has it, just trying to shoot from 35 out and is a sliver away from scoring a beautiful goal. But we need more of that. We need to mount pressure not just with possession, but with actual threats on goal.